While his features, functions, and behavior are classified as those of the animal world, as a human being he stands apart from all other animals. True, in the evolutionary classification, he is counted as belonging to the animal world. It is also true that very often human beings behave like animals. Nevertheless, man is more than an animal. He is a human being, meaning he can be kind, tender, merciful, and intelligent. It is in the human being that self-consciousness operates to a high degree, and it is he, of all animals, that is endowed with the sense of right and wrong, good and evil, and with the power of judging and choosing the right and the good, and rejecting the wrong and the evil. This sense of choosing the right and the good and acting up to it is to be seen only in man, and that is the sense of dharma, righteousness, which is highly spoken of in all the great religions of the world.
So you have the power to transform yourself as a human being. You have to believe that you can change yourself without any help, without any support. So you can achieve things. That is the power of you. If you don't understand that you can have that ability, then nobody can help. So being that within you is not easy. You have to have a lot of strength and courage to believe yourself. To believe something, you don't need anything. To follow something, it's very easy. But to believe yourself is not easy. And these all teachings based with your own mind. So the Buddhism mainly talk about your mind. It's in your hand that the future, even though karma is there, even though your past actions bring the result tomorrow, that you have power to change that also. You can change your path, your karma also. So once you understand this, that you can become a different person. So otherwise, just you become normal person, and you wake up and you go to do something and you earn something, you cook and you eat, and Friday night maybe you have parties, and Sunday finish all money and the Monday start to work, So you can have like that life, no problem. But there is one day come for everybody. We're going to stuck in this lifestyle, and then that day we become a prisoner to our own action. So don't be like that. Why we have to be prisoner to ourselves? Why we have to be prisoner to our own ideas? Look, if you are in a prison, it's okay. But in this free world, so you are a free person. But if you just look very carefully, that the person who living in the prison, he having more freedom than us sometimes. But we are prisoner to ourselves. So don't be a prisoner to your own ideas. So don't be a prisoner to your own habits. When you see it, always try to come out from that. So when you practice meditation, that your mental and physical capacities start to expand and develop to understand that, and then you get the strength. That with that strength once you start to go to the society and work with that, then it become very easy. The first thing is understanding this. So there is a story called the Kanha Jataka. One day the Buddha and his disciples and went somewhere. On the way, in one place Buddha stopped and smiled. So next to him the Venerable Ananda was, and he saw that the Buddha was smiling for something. And he asked Venerable Sir, why you smiling? Because the Buddha is smiling because of a reason. Without reason, he don't smile. So then he told Venerable the Ananda, a long time ago, I was in this place. Just I remind myself that the story. That's why I smile. So then the Venerable Ananda told Venerable Sir, if you like, please tell that story. There was a very rich family, husband and wife, no children. So they used to come, there was a very big tree and they used to believe there are some deities in that tree. So this is even 2500 years, more than that ago. So people used to go to these trees, mountains, these things and pray. So this husband and wife every day come and pray, asking a child. So somehow I became a child for that family. So I was very dark skin, with very dark, very black. And everybody when they see me, they scared, they afraid to look at me. That much I was so dark. So that somehow when I became young, that I used to look how much wealth in my family. So I saw that all the records, and there was a lot of wealthy people belong to that family, and they used to give money, and that all record shows how much money in my family. But that all other people who belong to that family already died. And I understood, so I also going to die one day. But these people all died and leaving this money here. Nobody took that money with them. So I was thinking how I can take this money with me. So I saw this all the records, and this all the money belong to some other people, and they leave this money in this family, and they died and they couldn't take this money. But I was thinking how I can take this with me. And then he started to think, and he gave all the money to people. He gave all the money to people. In 7 days it's open to public, and the people came and whatever they want they took. But it's also not going on, that much wealth was there. And then finally I leave this everything. I went to the mountain and start to practice meditation. Because I understood that if I start to protect this money, then I become debtor to this. I become prisoner to this money. If you look very carefully, sometimes we don't understand this. But why it is we cannot understand that much sometimes? Because our mental capacity is not enough, and sometimes we have no physical capacity to escape from this thing. So if you look very carefully at yourself, sometimes you do things for others, but finally you became a prisoner for others, and there is no escape for you. You have to keep doing that. So finding freedom is an art. You have to be smart to find the freedom. Otherwise, there is no way. If you start to do things for others, there is no end. You can keep doing things. But to find inside freedom, you have to use your mind. Because why? It's not easy. The physical freedom or the mentally, to find the freedom is not easy. That's why at that time when people see, when they going to stuck with things, they leave. Then sometimes we get tired with things. We get tired, but we cannot leave. We cannot leave. That means you have to understand, you already became a prisoner. If you are free, if you are strong, you can go away. But why you cannot go away like that? So somehow this person had that strength to leave. And he went to the mountain and he was practicing meditation there. And he leave this all the wealth because he understood this wealth is not permanent. And sometimes it can steal by some other people. And sometimes it can destroy by many things. And so he was practicing meditation. Then the Sakka, that the leader of the deities, the god, saw this happen. And he was thinking how this can happen like this. This person leave everything, and now in the jungle and practicing, in front of under this tree, eating this all the fruits, all the flowers, all the tree leaves, and this cannot happen. Maybe I can send him back. Maybe I have to test him. And he came to this person, Kanna, and what he did, he want to check, actually he is practicing this, he want to disturb this person. See, this in the story it says if you want to see who is really inside, how you can find out, you have to disturb the person. So that there is a talk I listened one time, the Osho, and he blaming to all these great people. And then there is a person asks, why you blaming to this everybody? These are very good people. Then he told that when you disturb to these people, you can really see if they are really good. So somehow, see this ancient time, this this deities or the gods also, they use this, So he came to this person and told, you are very ugly person. You are a very dark black person. So this person then told, by skin, looking by my skin, you cannot say I am black. It is wrong. By the color of the skin, if you try to judge the person, it is wrong. But the really black person is, if he holding the greed, hatred, jealousy, ignorance in his heart, that is the person who really black. So I am not a black person. I don't hold anything like that. So then he was so happy, when he listened and he asked that, do you need anything from me? Because I am very happy to hear this from you. Do you need anything? Then he told, I don't want anything. Leave me here, to practice my meditation mind. Then he asked, no, ask anything. Do you need anything? He said, no. Then again he said, no, you can ask. Yeah, then, if you can take out my jealousy from me, you can do something for me, take out the jealousy from me. If you can, take out the anger from me, if you can take out the hatred, so this thing, if you can, take out the ignorance from me, that is the way if you can help me. Because otherwise, if I going to keep these things within me, it's going to make more troubles for me. And then the Sadhguru told, I cannot do it. You have to do it yourself. So this is, said by the Buddha. And so you have to understand there is no power behind you to take out your anger. There is no any mantra, there is no any chanting, there is no any powerful things take out the anger from you. There is no any power, there is no any mantra, there is no any chanting, there is no any kind of hiding, spirit can take out the jealousy from you. There is no any powers can take out the ignorance from you. It is that the power is within you. But if you keep doing this thing, it takes more troubles towards you. Take more troubles towards you. And then the Buddha said to Venerable Ananda that I was practicing like this way, to cut all my desires inside me. And that's why I became a Buddha like this now. So through this story, it's a very important thing is the way you live is very important. Why? Because sometimes you're thinking you want to become somebody someday. Then you have to start to live like that today. Otherwise, you cannot become like that person one day. So to become a Buddha, see, he leave this everything and he went to the jungle and he start to eat the fruits from the tree, flowers, leaves. And that helped him to, that habit helped him to practice 6 years, during in that Siddhartha lifetime to achieve to Buddha. If he didn't practice like that, he cannot do this. So that means that as example, it would like this. When you eat yourself, you want everything like the salt perfect, chili perfect, and the taste should be perfect and everything should be, and then what happening inside you? You get addicted to that attitude. And then without that inside your system, you get upset. If you go somewhere else, if you go to some friend's house, you cannot be flexible to eat whatever they make. And then you make comments, oh, the food is, it's like this, like that. So who create that unhappy situation inside you? Not that food. Your own habit create that situation. So you have to be portable person, not the desktop person. You have to be, like a laptop, it anywhere portable, not the desktop person. Then you become limited person, and nobody try to take you and carry you anywhere. People, very limited people like desktops, but everybody like laptops. Why? Why? The reason is it is portable. If your habits are like, oh, you want a certain way, you want to do this way, without this you cannot eat, or you want to, this thing, slowly people try to drop you. Hey, why? Because the people know you are a stubborn person and you cannot go anywhere and you cannot be flexible. So don't be like that. And always enrich inside you with your ideas. You're doing things with the reasons, and then slowly what is happening, the reasons you put into your mind, make your attitude. Then later it becomes your life. So especially that the greed, there are two kind of greeds. One is you have greed for others things. When you see something from others, you have desire to take it to you. This is one kind of greed. It's very easily we can cut down. Why? No, it is not belong to me. It's others something. And even by law also it protect. You cannot take things from someone else. You cannot get like. So it even though you have idea, if you like it, if you have a greed, you can work with it, because you cannot make action for it. But very dangerous if you have a greed for your own things. So you have to cut down that also. We have greed, so much greed for our things. That also one way it is also greed. And sometimes you have something, don't touch, it is mine. So then later what happening? You develop the greed inside you, and you don't see. And you then start to have that greed start to enrich inside you, and then this head to toes body, you cannot live. Why? You so strongly hold it. This is mine. So to cut down this, what you need to do, try to release the greed from your own things also, and make a good reason to live. So how you can make a good reason to live? Like that, see that the person who looked the list and saw how this wealth I can take with me, he make a good reason to give it to some other people. So like that, you have to make a good reason to live. As example, this body is not belong to us. This is not a beautiful body to protect, and everybody knows, that if this, the skin open, and nobody try to, keep it. Everybody try to cover it. It is just not to the heel only, because other people don't like it to see. So, and inside this body, and everybody knows that everything is, not beautiful. So everything is possible to change, and dying every day. So then how you can make valuable with these things? Just collecting for you, for yourself? No, then you have to make a good reason to live with this body, to do things for others, to do good things with this body. That is, then you make a good reason to live with. And the other thing is, as a human being, if you don't understand what is right and what is wrong, you're not giving the right meaning to this human life. You're just living like other animals. So then, as a human, you're born, you have hands, legs, and this everything works perfect. And look around you. Just go to the hospital and see. How many people, without eyes, without ear, nose, tongue, body, struggling. But you have this everything. And at least try to understand what is right. If you have that effort inside you, that means you giving a good meaning to live. Try to understand around you what is right things, what is wrong things, what is good things, what is bad things. And just try to have effort at least for a few minutes for a day. Think of yourself. Then you're giving a good meaning. And practicing loving kindness, generosity is very important. So how you can, develop this inside you, because it becomes the way you think about this everything become your lifestyle. It take you within you. It become a habit to you. As example, every month you have to write checks for, electricity, water. If you blame into government, write the check, that you mean you enrich the anger inside. It develops, and then next day, even without writing a check, and you get angry for something. And how? Because that is the way you put the seed to inside you, and then when you work with your family, husband, wife, children, and friends, and it naturally comes. So just put pay it as a gratitude. You get the service. When you put the switch, lights come. So otherwise we are in dark. Look, that's most of Asian countries, they cut down the power at night to save the power. And when I told, hey, we have no light here, if we have like that problems, you can blame to government and write the check. But when you open the tap, water is there. When you put the switch, light is there. Why then you blame to it? Pay the gratitude and write. It needs you, good reason inside. Then it become a good attitude. You enrich your mind with something good. And when you do something for others, for husband, for wife, for children, put a good reason for that. Not thinking it will make trouble to you. It make problems to you. Try to make a good reason within you, and then you can be happy at peace. You have done this. That attitude you take within you. And so always try to find a way, and when you spend things, and you can find a very good ways that giving a meaning to that. As example, people cremate their bodies, and sometimes your father and mother, husband, wife, and then that all the ashes you put in a small pot, and you keep somewhere. And then every month you have to pay for that place to keep that. Maybe $100. Sometimes there are some places more than 100 per month. Per year they come like $10,000. But how you can make a good reason? In the Asian countries, in the ancient time, Eastern, they cremate the body. What they do, they put the ashes to the water. So if you can, not to put in these ashes, your own ashes in a pot, and just, tell your children to put it in to the water. Go to the ocean and put into the water. And every month, behalf of you, and give her some kind of, scholarship far away from, innocent child. And maybe you can be one day the son of that child. So maybe, and far away your own money, it's go to that people and somewhere, and you die here and you go and born somewhere, and maybe you get the benefit. But you make a good reason, it is not to, receive yourself, but you make a good reason, and every month, you spending some money for somebody and something, and with the meaning. So how many things for you yourself you spending money, and how many ways that you spending your time? There is no escape. As I told, we are prisoners to this thing. There is no way. You cannot be just, I don't want to do anything. No, you cannot be like that. Even you cannot sleep like that. Try to sleep 2-3 days yourself. No, I don't want to eat, I don't want to go anywhere, I want to just sleep. No, others will not allow you to sleep like that. Somehow they will, take you out from that situation. Like that, we are prisoners. So when you do things, make a good reason why you doing this. It is just not to enrich your own greed, your own hatred, your own delusion. You are not to enrich your own anger. Be very careful, because otherwise there is no escape. So when you do things, even if sometimes you get angry and you have to do things, put a good reason for that. Not with the anger. Put something, loving kindness, and with the generosity, give something and do something. Even you can blame with the loving kindness, not with the anger. As a mother and a father, sometimes you blame to your children. It is maybe you get angry, but you have in a deeper, you have loving kindness and compassion for the child, and you have to bring it up and and replace that. So then yourself every day, you become a successful person inside you. Otherwise, you go like this. Only the body change, the same person inside, and again and again and again. 100 lifetimes you come, 100 lifetimes you meet the Buddha, you are same person. Why? You develop only the anger, hatred, jealousy. You are not developed inside you. But need to understand you have the power to change yourself. So always find a good reason when you do things for others, especially when you have no escape. Find a good reason and then do it. Then you are safe and you develop something good inside. So that is what the Buddha did. Then in the 10 perfections, to become a Buddha, he need to practice. There are different things he used to practice, like giving things, generosity. And give up his own things, and telling truth. So these things he start to practice from long time ago. It is not, he became a Buddha within one time. He was keep practice. So yourself, if you have an idea to become a better person one day, at least in this very lifetime to become a successful person, become a good person to the society, or become a right person, at least you have to have a little bit effort every day with your actions to correct yourself. When you understand, I make a mistake, at that very moment, try to make it clear. Then that become attitude for, that become your lifestyle. Then slowly, next day you will not make a mistake. Before you make a mistake, you remind yourself. So otherwise you make a mistake, it's okay, you forget it and you go, and then next day you make a bigger one, and then next day it becomes bigger. So how you put, sometimes that the seeds even you cannot see through your eyes, but see that kind of trees like banyan trees, see how it become big. The small seed. Your thoughts are like that small seed. And with the water, with the soil, this all the trees go up like that. With your thoughts, greed, hatred, jealousy, once you start to put the ignorance, it become wrong way very big, and it's going to give the troubles to you, pain to you and others. But if you enrich the thought like generosity, loving kindness, compassion with the wisdom, and that way it's going to give you peace, happiness. This just not only you, around you people also start to get that benefit. That is the best thing you can do in this with this body. So try to be very careful yourself when you deal with your own thoughts. With any action, especially with the personal actions, the personal thoughts. Don't do anything with the anger or the hatred or the jealousy, because that becomes your life. So don't try to develop your life like that. Always, somehow it becomes very hard in the beginning, because that's what we used to do, but somehow try to practice little by little, and give a good meaning to your actions, and at least then it make you happy, yourself. And if you collecting good memories, and even this whole world destroyed, and you're going to be safe. Otherwise, wherever you go, your own attitude, hold you like this. So there was a prince, and when he born, all the astrologers came and told, be very careful, this prince going to die without water. Then the father, what he did, he make wells everywhere in the kingdom. Water was available anytime. And he was now happy. The father knows wherever my son goes, the water is there. But this prince was, he's get angry very easily. So one day he went with his friends out, and then he saw that for a monk, people put the giving food and doing offerings and bowing. So he got so angry when he looked this. So I am son of the king, but they don't respect for me. They respect for this monk. And he came to this monk. In front of that everybody, what he did, he started to beat this monk and throw the bowl away. And so he was so angry. And then he asked water. Then nobody want to give the water. Why? Because everybody was afraid to go to him, because he beat to this monk. And he got dizzy and he fell down, and without water he died. So even see, our own attitude, when we keep things like that, your actions, inviting for your past karma. Otherwise, if you, make a good actions, even though you have bad karma, it cannot catch you. So otherwise, wherever you go, it's not the past things, maybe, whatever you do in this very lifetime can make hard for your life. So think about it and make a good meaning to your own life, and then you can be happy for sure. Is there any questions, please? So we do loving kindness meditation for a moment ourselves. Palms together and repeat after me. Imaya Dhammano Dhamma Patipattiya Buddhang Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranamha Paribhungisami Idammi Punyang Asavattaya Vahang Hotu Sabbadutta Pamuccatu. May you be well, happy and peaceful. No harm come to you, no difficulties come to you, no problems come to you. May you also have patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. And finally, may you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana.